Okay. We'll actually just start standing comfortably. Bring the hands forward and do a few rotations into your wrists. Try to keep the fingers spread wide. And we go the other way. And then let's go between point and flex, bringing the fingertips towards you and pointing them as much as your body allows you to. And then same thing from the outside, flexing the fingers outside, making a fist, pulling that fist towards you. And opening and closing a few times. Hi, Anna. Nice to see you.
Same.
We just started, so jump right in. Connect the back of the wrist, few circles into the wrist. Also let the circles travel now a bit more into the elbows and shoulders. Same as we reverse, let the motion travel a bit. Now, hands in front of the chest. We'll move the hands to the left, the head to the right, and we switch between right and left as the hands move to the right, the head to the left. Make sure the heel of the hand stays in one line with the elbow. Feel like a nerve flossing sensation in the arm going all the way towards the neck. And then release. Just one arm. Ooh, this lamp, I will never get used to. Up and down. I keep hitting it either with the feet or the hands. And then we go from outside. We'll imagine we hug a ball and then using drawing the elbows back into arching, opening, closing the chest, the arm line, getting a little bit of mobility in our thoracic spine and our shoulders. Then release. Give me 3 big circles each direction into the hips. And then just come a little closer. You want to get your right thumb back, put your left hand on your chest, and try to just feel the like humerus moving in the shoulders. So you should feel the back of the shoulder blade moving down to like get that external rotation using the back of the shoulder to kind of lift the collarbone and chest up. You should feel it as the hand is a little more in front, that this space is closing and rounding. And as you draw it back, you should feel it opening and lifting. And same on the other side. Find a 90-degree angle with your left. See how the side is doing. For me, that's way weaker than my right. But see if you can hold the back position for a second before you release to get the work into the shoulder. And then release. Let's, if you have a wall or a chair, something like that, you want to create an L-shaped position. If you don't have it, you can also kind of do it in a down dog. People are coming late today. So we just want to kind of arch and hollow a bit in the thoracic spine. Like I said, if you have the wall, put the hands in the height of your hips. If you don't have a wall, you can do an L shape down dog position, moving forward and back in your chest. And then release, go into a forward fold, either from the wall or from your down dog. Bend one leg at a time. Now I want to get the feet all the way together. We want to come onto our tiptoes, getting the knees to the chest, staying compressed. And exhale, straighten the legs, forward fold. You can flatten out the feet as well. Inhale to lift and bend. Keep the knees tight to your chest. Exhale, forward fold. Couple more of those. Try to go to the full range of motion in your legs, hips, and ankles. And let's actually stay on the toes and bring the knees down. If it's too intense with the stretch in your toes, you can also release it. We interlace the hands over your head. With the interlaced hands, give me a few circles into your ribs. So make sure the hips can stay in one place. And imagine that hula hoop under your bra line. And the other direction. And just let the arms come down and find a tabletop position. In your tabletop, I'll just lift the heel of the hand for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands flat. Make sure your spine is straight and try to draw your knee into the chest without rounding the spine so much. So we want to keep the length in the spine, just drawing the knee front and release. Other side, lengthen the spine. It almost feels like I'm pulling my navel into the spine to create the space with my thigh coming closer. And release. Sit all the way back into your child's pose. Same idea here. Try to lengthen the arms front, that the armpits go closer down to the floor. Feel how your thighs come closer to your ribs and chest. Then roll it back up. I will show it first. If you have a block or a band, it might be nice to do that. To just have some weight or some resistance. We want to go all the way onto the belly, finding our straight headstand. And what I want you to focus on is what we did on the warm up to kind of feel with the back of the shoulder blade, lifting the sternum and the collarbone up to create a nice open shoulder line. So with the block, it looks like this. I pull my navel in, the sternum stays down. I'm going to try to lift with the sternum down, the collarbones up, and the arms in one line with my body. Also works with the band. See if we can disconnect instead of like rounding up, keeping the length, lifting only the back of the shoulder blades and feeling the space in the front of the collarbones. Come watch. 3 to 5 lifts is enough. See if you can find that same action from the external rotation, opening the collarbone space. Hope your neck is nice and long, so you don't feel too much tension in your neck. Don't worry if you can't lift high. That's totally normal. And then you can come back up onto your hands and knees. You're welcome to do this in a tabletop. If you want a little bit more weight, do it in your plank. We're just going protraction and retraction of the shoulder blade. Feel how the weight kind of sinks into the center of the hand and pushes out from there. You also feel how the space in the front closes and opens. Same in the back. your shoulder blades go together and separate. Bring the knees down. If you still have your block, it might be also nice to do that with your block. Again, tabletop or plank. As you keep the box and the frame, you can just come on fingertips and do the same action, protraction, retraction on your one hand with the fingertips, or you can use the stairs to come up and have a little bit more space because you're slightly elevated. Maybe you feel through the elevation, the motion better. 3 to 5 on each shoulder. It's good. Nice. Yeah, let the weight of the body really pull you back into the shoulder blade and push you out. Especially if you work with the elevation, it's very tempting to kind of drop one shoulder down. So see that you keep the frame in your shoulder. Nice, Anna. Looks great, Ivana. Okay, now we'll try to find that position in our handstand as well. Uh, where we want to use that kind of, it feels like we're sinking into the back of the shoulder blades so that we keep that front open versus pushing so much that that front is closed and our upper back will look rounded in our handstand. And I want to give you um, like a couple minutes to do that. I can also try to show it a little closer to the camera that you can see it, and you're also welcome to do it with the wall. So here I'm sinking in the back of my shoulder blades and my front is open. Here I'm pushing so much that my upper back like rounds and my chest and my collarbone space is open. So try to just find that little bit more sinking in feeling in your handstand, where your handstand doesn't feel so rigid and where the back of the shoulder blade can really support your handstand line. Try to stay, let's say, 15 to 30 seconds and then have a little break and try again. Beautiful line, Ivana. Really nice. Stay, Michaela. Really nice line. Nice, Anna. Yeah, looks really good in the shoulders. You're all at a point in your practice where you already have so much control and strength that we can work with these details. Like all of you have enough push and strength to hold a good position. You can work a little less now. Finding that back support. The neck nice and long. If you can, also relax the fingertips a little bit. If we engage the fingertips too much, it takes away the work in the shoulder as well. If you like to work on blocks, you could also do it on blocks and try to open your fingers from the blocks. Whatever adjustment you make, try to make it slow so your body doesn't freak out. Just take your time, especially when we change little details. Start where you find your balance and then go really slow. Nice, Laura. Yes. Nice corrections, everyone. Yay, looks super good. I always like to describe it a bit if we have those like very rigid and really pushed out handstand. If like the wind would blow, we would just fall over. But with that kind of more sinking in and grounded feeling in our handstand, the wind actually doesn't matter so much. So I know only Michaela's outside and it looks sunny, but I hope that image helps you to like find more that sinking in feeling in your handstand. Or try it next time it's very windy. I want to go to some tuck handstands, and um, if you want to have a prep drill on the ground, I like to often put like a roller under my shoulders and glue my hands either to the wall or here I have the couch. And as I'm trying to just bring the ribs back, I can feel my knees coming closer. Right, this is where our body usually tends to hang out. And if I'm focusing on pushing the ribs back, my lower back will lengthen. And what my body wants to do is also closing my arms and shoulders. So I have to do the opposite, keeping the shoulders open and working from the deep core into the back. You could also try it on a block. And just finding that action. It's not so important that you have all the tools perfect right now. Yeah, nice. That looks good. And we put a little bit two and two together, using that position that you had in your straight handstand now to find a little bit more depth in our attack position. You can get in however you like. Trying to use that sinking in and that kind of heaviness with the sacrum going back, the belly relaxing, and letting the back of the shoulders support our weight. If you want to do head in or bringing the compression lower, you can, but I want you to just find that back support. And especially when you go in, for most people, it's a bit easier to come from higher up and then slowly lower it down to get into that deeper position. Especially when we're pulling the knees, we tend to pull the shoulders as well. So focus on the shoulders first, and then kind of breathe yourself into the tuck a little lower, but not giving up your good shoulder position. That looks great, Josie. Nice, Michaela. Yeah, nice. Really nice, Anna. Yeah, especially when you go in the compression. It feels like my butt is far behind my shoulders, like your body is almost at an angle. Nice, Anna. That looks good. To recreate that feeling that you had on the roll or block, that you want to move the shape back, especially if you bring the head in or you go lower, you want to kind of move it back from here. If I would do it standing, the lower I go, the more the knees have to go up. But this part also has to, oops, go back, and I really have to work the shoulders to stay open. If I'm not doing that, I'll round and fall back. Let me know if you have questions. Otherwise, just try one more time in your tuck handstand, and then I'll give you more challenges. Yeah, keep the hips even further back, Laura. Yeah, nice. Super nice, Anna. I don't see how close your knees are, but the tendency for me personally in tuck is that I separate the knees a bit. And yes, it feels easier to kind of go lower, but it's harder to use our deep core to help. As we squeeze the knees together, even if I'm on tippy toes, I can actually go up and down and feel a lot more integrated into my body than if I'm going down and have that slight separation. If someone would try to challenge my shape, it would feel a lot harder to keep it stabilized. So it's just something to keep in mind that you really want to get the knees together. A teacher of mine would always put kind of socks between my knees. Um, and if I would have lost them, then I knew they weren't together. You have socks, you can try that as well. Nice, that's perfect with the hips, Laura. Really nice. Nice, Juliana. Okay, let's try that with the knees together in the next transition. See if I can figure out how to not kick anything here. Let's say we start in our tuck. I don't fall into the furniture. When we start in our tuck, as a variation, you can just straighten one leg at a time, but still gluing the knees together. If you want more, you go from here into your pike, or you use the pike to lower a little more and then go all the way up through your pike. But I really want you to imagine there's glue between your knees. It will make the transition easier, and you don't have to go to your lowest tuck. Can be a little higher as well, so you have the chance to not collapse in the shoulders. Quick round of that. Nice. And especially when we straighten the leg, we tend to move the shoulders and the foundation. So move the leg slow, keep the shoulders there. Beautiful, Mick. Super nice, Anna. Nice. Yes, nice jump, Ivana. Really good. Keep the shoulders there. Nice. Yeah, Josie. Yes. Nice. Cool. Nothing moved in the shoulders. Really good. Nice. Okay, we will keep the glue in our knees and we will additionally try to hook just around the ankles. What I feel like is nice, and you can try it seated as well, when the knees are together and the ankles are hooked, we can kind of pull the ankles apart from each other and it glues the knees even more. Just try it in a seated position. If your ankles are just hooked and I don't do anything, it's very easy to separate the knees. If the knees come together and I pull the heels away from each other, I have this super glue in my knees. And we'll try to do that in handstands. Well, So you hook, you can pull, you can use this to also start working on your shifts, which feels a lot easier if the knees are together. You can use this to straighten out the legs and bring it back, or you can go from your tuck all the way to straight. Or just, as I said, try the shape, and it can also, you can go from your kick up, finding that shape, and using the pulling apart to get those knees together. Nice, Josie. Really good. Beautiful, Laura. Nice shifts. Yeah, really choose that option that your body was excited to try tonight. Super nice shoulder alignment, Anna. Yeah, nice, Laura. So nice. Yes, Ivana. Nice. Just a tiny thing, but I feel like if the legs have a place and have kind of our one piece, it just helps us to stabilize a lot of movement. Nice, Jody. Now, as you go up, yes, nice. The direction of the legs was a lot better. And then as you straighten up, because I think as you straighten up, maybe imagine again to like push a weight up because the where the legs landed was perfectly straight. Nice. Looks super good. Feel free to do one more set. Also have a little break. You already feel your shoulders or your wrists. Nice, Josie. Yes, yes, yes. Nice. Perfect. That looked great. I know you just came from the gym, but it's still giving you weight in hands, guys. It worked. Nice. Cool. Nice. Hey, for the ones who already finished their sets, you can join me in a frog stretch. And as we want to use that frog to go more into handstands, I also want to invite you to really pull the core and the navel in your straight position, not just hanging down and relaxing. Um, if you want to make this a little bit more active in the hips, you can either lift one heel at a time or both at the same time, but we also don't want to like lift the whole hips up. It's just the heel lifting. The inner groin can open more through that rotation. If frog is already intense, just use the frog to open your legs. And then get the toes together and use that to come all the way up. different options. You can use a frog jump to just find a little more lightness kind of in your shoulders, and then imagining you're still pressing kind of weights together as you bring the knees together. At least that helps me to keep my belly button pulling back. I'll show you what I mean. So we're in our frog position here, which is a lot easier to hold. As I'm bringing the knees together, I need to make that space in my belly. If I'm just bringing my knees together, I might just fall back. So I'm also imagining I'm drawing my knees into my hips to connect the front. And if you want to work more towards what arms and side bends with this transition, I want you to either be in frog and do your shifts here, or using your frog to shift and then getting your knees together for your tuck, or finding your balance, coming back, opening again, doing your shift, bringing the knees together, and so on. But it's the same principle if you do it in your one arm shift. I really have to bring the knees into the hip to get the ribs and the belly back and not fall down in the transition. Yeah, nice. Now you have to use a little less energy in the frog jump than in your tuck jump. Nice, perfect. Yeah, it's nice. Again, if you don't want to do the shift, you could also do it frog side bend and then go to your tuck side bend. And you don't have to do a shift at all. All the same family, we just add a little bit more weight on one side. Tuck, shift, or side bend is too hard. Just try to do it in frog. It's a little lighter than tuck, unless your favorite shape is tuck. Maybe it works really well. Nice, Anna. Yeah, that's good. Really nice. Yes. Beautiful on both sides. Nice, Laura. Good alignment. Nice. Somehow in this transition, I always have to think about this machine in the gym where you kind of sit and you press the legs together. So work out the inner thighs. Um, but with the pressing the legs together, we have that good integration in the core. I imagine a resistance band around your knees. Yes, nice. Really good. Really happy with the shoulder positioning of everyone. There's nothing moving, even if you transfer or shift or transition. Nice. Wait a little longer with the hips to get the shoulders under, Ivana. Yes, that's better. Nice. Good correction. Nice. Looks really good. Oh, nice, Ivana. Wow. Super good. Yeah. Just there for 30 minutes. Nice, Mick. Take another minute for this exercise, or go back to a stretching drill or drinking a sip of water. Nice, Anna. Yeah, nice. Oh no, you okay? Actually, what you did on the left was nicer with the knees together. On the right, the knees were really far out. On the left, you actually kind of the heels want to go out and the knees want to come in, and you did that really nice on the left, actually. So the alignment of the shape going was better. Um, but try that same idea on the right as you go, that you imagine the knees go more in and the heels more out. We will move after this towards straddle. So if you already need a little break, you can also warm up your straddles on the ground, just stretching out your straddle a bit. Nice. That was really nice, Anna. Some of us don't have to warm up their straddle, but I always um, like in between sets also to just remind my body here of the handstand alignment that I want to have, like getting the belly in and the ribs back. If you know you want to work towards side bends, you can also use that alignment to go towards the side. If you know you're very flexible, maybe you need your blocks under your heels to get a little bit more challenge. Um, you're in a position where you can watch. So come a little closer. I have to do it sideways because otherwise there's not enough space. But we want to try to do like an uneven handstand, um, meaning one hand is down on the ground and one hand is on a higher surface, but from the front as well. And you can kick up into it, you can jump up into it, and it can be that there's 50-50. Then the arm that's on the higher surface has to be bent. You can use that higher surface to get a little bit more weight onto the hand that's on the ground, or you can do it to kind of do a shift onto a higher surface and going to your fingertips and out, trying to come back as well. In this one, again, you can do a kind of strict straddle shift, meaning we're not crunching so much in the side. I use a little bit of weight from the hip to go over, but you can also do it to just bend to the side. It's both possible. Just be clear what you're doing. I'll try to show you the side bend one from this angle. So let's say we use the elevation to bend to the side. You can really use the side crunch to go low at this leg and come back up. going to this side, um, towards the lower side is not going to help you really work that side bend and getting the shoulder in the right position. Then I would rather say just do it on the ground. Um, but I think everyone can at least try to do that uneven handstand and working a little bit towards that elevation. You can use the wall as well. Nice. Can also be nice to work your transitions here. I know we did already a bunch of transitions. You could just go from your frog towards your straddle, just holding that uneven surface to prep your shoulders. You could go straddle to tuck, which I find is a little harder than just frog to straddle, or going straddle to straight. With that uneven surface, play a bit around with the drill. Nice lower. Nice entry, Anna. Yeah, nice. It's heavy, I know. Yes, Ivana. Push a little later. Now it takes a little longer to get up. Make the motion looks good. Push a little less strong in your shoulders. And of course, try it on both sides. Nice shoulder wrap, Anna. That looks good. Much better with the positioning of the rib towards the back. Nice, Josie. Pull the navel into the spine. You just lost it at the end, but before was good. Let's make yeah, nice. Really good. Try to jump the heels a little higher, Ivana, over your hips. Right now, your legs pull you down. So your legs end up here. Try to get them here and use that to go up. Nice make. Takes a few tries to get used to it. Nice side bend lower. Okay, nice. You can keep going if you're still going, but if you want to get rid of the block now too, that's totally fine. Um, then we'll still stay in the straddle topic. I give you a few options as well that you can just work on your straddle jumps again, starting on your toes and really doing more like a press jump to enter your straddle and finding a good alignment here, or using that straddle jump to close and open and do the same on the way down, really trying to land on the toes, pausing for a second before you release. Or going into your straddle, using a shift to come to fingertips or open hand, whatever you want to do. If you want to try to go 1 second free, come back. You can, or just work on your side bends, as I said, but on two um, equal platforms. Um, Thinking of using the weight of the hip to kind of get staggered on top of your shoulder and feeling more you're placing the hip onto the rib and doing the motion just from here. So lots of options. Nice jump, Ivana. That was really nice. Really good. Stay in the hands. Yes, yes, yes. You have it. Nice. Nice drill in between. Could also be adding some movement in the straddle, just moving the legs, but using the leg bounce to find more strength in your foundation, meaning that you don't move anything in your foundation as you're just moving the legs a little up and down. Very nice straddle jumps. Anna needs a bigger space. It's like me. I'm everywhere. I like hit something with my feet. Nice, Laura. That was really good. Nice, Anna. Nice. Good position. Nice, Laura. Really good. Really nice shift. Also, good leg position. I feel like that 1 second release and come back is more a mental exercise also for ourselves. Um, I remember when I learned what arms and took my hand off the floor, I just freaked out. But if you kind of build it up progressively to like let go for just a second and then bring it back, and then next time maybe you have 2 seconds and bring it back, your nervous system will adapt a lot faster to actually letting go and staying in a one arm and balancing it. Oh, the navel a little bit more in, Josie. Just a tiny bit. Yeah, good. So you have more control. Nice. Nice, Anna. The side looks good. Yeah, nice. Cool. We'll do a little stretch. Um, and you can do this depending what you have, where you practice on the ground, like really getting one hand on top of the other and stretching out your puppy pose with the hands together. And you could also do this with the wall, putting one hand on top of each other and really reaching the chest through without sticking the butt out. So the pelvis wants to stay neutral, the lower back nice and long, and we want to get a little bit more openness in the chest. And then, of course, you also want to switch the hand that's on top. Not really trying to isolate the shoulders without doing the archy spine. Let's take a couple breaths on each side. And we want to use a slightly closer hand position to work on our straddle or our shifts. So if you work on the floor or with blocks, we want to get a position where our thumbs are almost touching. If that's too challenging, just go a little bit more narrow than shoulder width. A very good drill to strengthen the shoulders. So you can just try to find balance in your straddle here. You can use it to shift. Now the shoulder is already in the right place. You don't have to do a big shift. Because when we are on two hands, the way is just a lot longer to get the hip over and get that push. Now, if we're staying in here, we just have to go straight down, but our shoulder is already in a quite good place. Now, with the hands closer, it's a little harder to open the shoulders, what you felt already in the stretch. So see if you can think with that chest going under to get the shoulders open. Try to keep the connection to the thumb. Beautiful, Mick. Nice. Really nice. I find it a lot easier to shift with the hands closer. For some, it's challenging. For me, it was more challenging because my shoulders had a harder time to open, but it helped me understand to really get that open shoulder position. If you have quite flexible shoulders, it might feel a lot easier than doing that full transition from your two hands. You don't want to work on like shifting, using that close hand position to do transitions. Some of you are already doing it, going from straddle to straight or going from straddle to tuck. It's also very valuable. Nice, Josie. Yes. Yeah, stay in the thumbs. Stay in the thumbs. Nice. Good. Nice set. Can be a little challenging in the shoulders as well, as kind of the thumb tends to lift up and we bend a bit the arm and then we feel the front of the shoulder. So try to really get the inside of the thumb down so your elbow is locked and you can use the outside of the shoulder more. One last one if you like, and then we'll do something a bit more flexy, stretchy. And handstands as well. One last back bendy or stretchy shape. Nice. That looks good. Hey, let's prep the shape that I want to do. And we want to be starting in a half split position. So where my hip is on top. Let's see, maybe turn a bit. Then, depending on your flexibility, you can also do it a little further out if you have a very good front split. But what we're trying to do with the arms up is that we're leading with the chest. The weight shouldn't be in the lower back. It's more like the chest, the collarbones are elevating to the ceiling as my arms reach back. For some of you, that might be also easier to feel if you have a block or a weight in your hands. I always want to make a big circle. So I want to kind of reach up and over that bar behind my upper body. And you should also feel, or at least that's what I feel. I feel as I'm going back, the stretch going all the way down to the bent knee side. And then, of course, let's do the other side, reaching over that bar, thinking of creating a nice, long, rounded shape. So I show you how to do that with the wall in two directions. If you know you don't need the wall, you can just start doing it free in the room. Now we need a little bit of space away from the wall so we can bring our chest through. We want to have the back leg bent, actually too close, because it's a little less heavy. And I'll reach my foot wherever I can reach on the wall, and then I'm letting my chest go forward and between my hands. This would be one version. This feels more like the straight position. I'm just navigating the chest through to get the opening. Um, you could also do it the other way around. Then my straight leg is on the wall. The bent leg is back. Still too close. And then I can really reach with my chest and my leg through to also think of pushing the chest towards the wall. And then same, free in the room. Really think with the chest and the back leg being heavy. I like to imagine also to have a weight on my back leg that the knee points straight to the ceiling. Feels really nice to get that chest opening again after all the work we did in the shoulders. Nice. Push that chest under, just like I'm sliding my hands underneath. Super nice. Yes. I love the adjustment that Laura is giving. Nice. Yeah, I love that spot with the foot in in the back. Push the chest a little more away from the wall, Ivana. Yes, nice. Try both legs, just that we have the same stretch in both of our legs. Nice. Back leg nice and heavy. You also want to feel a stretch in your quad, in the bent leg. Nice, Laura. Yeah, perfect. A weight, especially if you push the chest through, will go a little bit more towards the heel of the hand. Yeah, a little more chest, Ivana. Get it away from the wall. Yes, nice. Really good. Okay, let's take it out for a moment. Just tap the front and back. Let your body relax from that position. You want to do one last handstand? I always feel like that feels kind of nice at the end of a lot of strong shapes to find a quite relaxed handstand and try to just shake out your legs in the air, but keeping the foundation grounded like we had in the beginning. You can also do any other leg shakes that feel good. For me, it feels quite nice to do that in more like a frog position because it's easier for me to relax my legs. Choose whatever variation you can wiggle your legs. Get that sinking and feeling in your hand and shoulder from the beginning again. Nice. Super nice. I love the variations. Really nice. Looks like a little instant celebration. A little stretch for the shoulders before we do conditioning. Um, if you have your blocks or a couch close by, either on the blocks, you can bring the elbows on the blocks, or if you have a couch, it's also nice to just bring the elbows on the couch and maybe taking a block between your hands so you can work the armpits into an open position. The same that I said before, try not to dump the weight in the lower back. Keep pulling that navel into the spine so the work really gets into the shoulders instead of the lower back. The neck can be nice and long. You can also play a bit with protracting and retracting the shoulder blades before you sink into a position that feels more neutral and where you can just stay for a few breaths. And then come out. I want everyone to choose their own um, journey with this. I want you to choose one shape, either tuck, straddle, or straight, one of the ones we did today. And if you have a wall and you want to use it, you can try to come as close as possible with kind of the face to the wall and work on that compression. If you don't have a wall, choose either of these shapes to find um, a very like static position. Let's see. If we're in the tuck, I'm trying to arrive in my tuck and find a relaxed finger position, or if you're on blocks, maybe really letting go of the fingers. if you work with the wall, you are very close to the wall. I want you to use the wall kind of as the challenge to lift your toes off the wall. Let's see. So I'm closest tuck, using the wall to get in, and then just lifting the toes off the wall. And you could do the same in your straddle or your straight. And it's a lot harder to hold that face to the wall position than to do it free in the room. If you don't work on blocks, you can also just relax the fingers. But choose your last shape that you want to get for the conditioning today. And I would rather have you work on precision now as you feel like you lose the quality of the shape. You'll just come down and it's good for today. Challenge yourself to be in that really good tight shape. Kind of doing like an internal body scan, feeling if everything is perfectly aligned. Yeah, get the knees off the wall. Maybe come a tiny bit closer, Ivana. Just a tiny bit that your knees can go a little bit more down and your toes can lift up. The hips can go a tiny bit more back. Yeah, good. Yeah, keep the shoulders under. Straighten your right elbow a little more, Josie. Nice, Anna. If you're down, take your hands under your heels and straighten out the legs. A few times go between bending and straightening your legs. And then get your forearms between your thigh and calf. Give a little pressure into your forearms, maybe open and close your hands. Get the knees down. Walk the fingers towards you. Sit towards the heels. Get the stretch out of your forearms. The heel of the hand together, and we'll just move a bit from side to side. Feel where your body wants to stop. Sit all the way back onto your heels, back of the hands next to the knees. Move between arch and hollow. It will increase the weight in your wrists, especially as you round the spine. I feel the weight increasing in the stretch. And sit all the way back. Get your right hand to your left hip, fix it with your left hand, and then move your head from right to left. Very slow, more diagonal that you really feel the stretch going into the side of the neck towards the shoulder. Stay on the left. Relax that shoulder down. Back to center. Take your left hand with you to the right hip. Fix it with your right. Moving your head from right to left. And then keep the head. Right ear to the right shoulder. Nose towards the ceiling. Or find a spot between the floor and the ceiling where you feel the stretch arriving in your body. Let go. Hold your heels. Come more onto the crown of the head and use the connection of the heel to like pull on your own arms. And let go of the pull for a moment in child's pose. Let your shoulders fall to either side. Belly, thighs relaxed, spine nice and long. Thank you all for your beautiful practice today. Take some extra moments to take care of any other decompression that you need.